Hi, welcome back to Community Focus here on Channel 6 TV. Kenny Fogel here with you tonight, and glad you could be with us. We're going to talk a little bit about something that, well, every single week we could talk about a different topic, and I don't think we'd run out, and that's 4-H. And Danielle Hutchins here with us today. And Danielle, first of all, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And you all stay pretty busy there in that office, don't you?
We do. Everybody in Extension is busy. We have family consumer science, we have agriculture, horticulture, and 4-H. And there's not really a downtime for any of us, but summertime is definitely the busiest time for 4-H. We have lots of wonderful things coming up. I'm here to talk about 4-H camp today, but I'm going to highlight a couple other things as well. So if you are not on our 4-H newsletter list, you can give our office a call at 348-9204, and we'll put all of our updating events in that newsletter. I just finished it up today. We have a project day coming up in July where youth can work on projects to enter to the county fair. On Saturday, I have a robotics day camp coming up. We have a Clover Bud Day Camp, which is for our youth who are 5 to 8 years old. It's kind of an introduction to 4-H for those young folks. And then we're also doing a ceramics painting day. So there's lots of things that we do during the summer. We take youth to the University of Kentucky for 4 days for a teen conference. Our youth that are 8th through 12th grade can go to that conference. And then we have 2 that are going to a forestry conference. So we stay super busy.
I think so. Now, when you target 4-H, when you're saying 4-H, now, what age group are we talking about?
So it really depends on the program. For them to be of competitive age in 4-H, they have to have reached their 9th birthday as of January 1st. So they can be in competitive programs from 9 through their 18th year. But the biggest thing about 4-H is not the competition. We want them to learn life skills. Competition sometimes is a way to reward them for their work. Just recently I've been working with a lot of our graduating seniors, and we work with a program called the Achievement Program. And there's both a competitive track and a non-competitive track. And the non-competitive track, they're awarded based on a level of how many points that they have. The competitive track, they actually kind of look at the diversity of the kids' experience. So they look at their leadership, communications, citizenship, their project work, and then they're kind of assigned a number. And for our kids that get bronze, they receive a partial scholarship to programs. Silver and gold, they also get a scholarship to teen conference, but those guys are eligible to go to National Congress and National Conference. And then the top 4 in the state will receive emerald and get a $1,000 scholarship. So that kind of competition is good because it's rewarding them, but what's also nice, it gets them ready for graduating. It helps them do record keeping and keep all of their stuff in one place. A lot of our kids who do the Achievement Program, scholarship applications are easy for them because all the information is right there. They've already done all the homework for it, and they just call me and get me to write recommendation letters.
What's the easiest way to recruit somebody into 4-H? You go through the schools, or how do you reach the kids? How do they know about you?
4-H has been around in Nelson County for a long time. 4-H has been around, I think, since 1902, and it started different counties at different times. And it's always varied. One of the best ways is word of mouth. If a child or a family has had a positive experience in 4-H, they tell their friends, they bring a friend to meetings. We do school enrichment. In 4-H, we serve all youth. And sometimes children may have family circumstances or financial circumstances where they can't come to us. So they might not be able to make it to a meeting. They might not have transportation. So we go to them in the schools. We're in about 25 classrooms, and we do school enrichment. We work with the teachers to see what enriches what they're already learning in their classroom. But we want the kids to have that traditional 4-H experience as well. So in that time, we always have them do a service project. So in December, we do our holiday card contest, and then the kids in the classrooms make about 1,500 holiday cards that go in the food boxes and Feed America boxes in our community. So people who may not get any other holiday greeting would get a small note from a 4-H'er. In the classrooms, they also have the opportunity to participate in the poster and poetry contest, so they still have that competitive part as well. And then in April, we typically go in and we give them an invitation to 4-H camp and other 4-H summer activities as
Okay,
well.
now, I know you mentioned 4-H camp that's coming up. It's not that far away.
It is not, which if you look at my office, you can tell because I've started accumulating supplies for it already. But Nelson County is really lucky. We have been extremely supported throughout the years to be able to have a strong 4-H camp program. And 4-H camp is more than just a summer or a week of fun. Kids have the opportunity to learn lots of life skills, make friends that are going to last a lifetime, try something new, create a strong bond with a caring adult. They have the opportunity to have a sense of belonging. So a lot of those positive youth development things that we're looking for our kids today, they can find in a week of camp. Of course, it is fun. The food is great. I'm a big fan of 4-H camp. I went as a camper, as a teen, as a volunteer. I actually worked 3 summers at the camp, and then I've worked year-round at other camps. And my home is at the Lake Cumberland 4-H camp. I love it. I love going back out there, and I love taking people from our community. We take around 300 people from Nelson County, which is awesome. One challenge that I do have for the community, and if you're listening to this, I encourage you to, talk to those around you. We need a couple things for 4-H camp this year. We're still in need for some adult volunteers to go with us. So if you went to camp as a camper or if you went as an adult and you want to go back, whether you have kids of your own or grandkids, or if you just want to volunteer and give a week back, we are still looking for some volunteers. We're also looking for some camp sponsors. It takes around $10,000 to go to camp, $10,000 in sponsorship. That helps offset some of the transportation costs and help some of those youth who may not be able to afford it otherwise go. And last year we were really fortunate. We had several organizations who were able to give us a little extra, but unfortunately the reason they were giving us extra is they were disbanding. So we don't have that funding available to us this year, but you can sponsor a camper. The full cost of camp is $198. That's what we charge the kids. The real cost is closer to $300. So we encourage everyone, extra buck or two laying around, you can give us a call at the office. Again, that number is 348-9204, and we can tell you how you can sponsor a camper as well.
There's a lot of things they can learn. I mean, I went to camp when I was a kid years and years ago, and I mean, obviously, I don't know if I learned how to swim there or not, but I know I got better at it. Boating, you got archery. I mean, I don't know what they do now. It may be a whole lot different world now back than it was when I was little.
Nelson County 4-H has really held to a traditional camping program, and part of that is because we've had committed volunteers who have been coming for years. At the Lake Cumberland 4-H camp, they still go to classes by cabin. So in each cabin, there are about 22 youth. They have 2 to 4 teen leaders and 2 adult leaders. So we make sure that there's a appropriate supervision ratio for the kids. And then they get to pick, they have 4 activities every day. One is always swimming, because we know that's super important. They have a swirly slide now and a diving board. And
they didn't have that
a shade. They have a shade shelter so that you don't have to swelter in the sun. And then, of course, we have the boat dock. And at the boat dock, there's canoeing, fishing, and pontoon boats, so they can go out on Lake Cumberland. We have shooting sports activities. We have the cave, which is great because it's one of the few air conditioning places on camp. Stays about 56 to 65 degrees year round. We have arts and crafts. There's the climbing wall and zip line. So there's lots of really awesome activities. They stay 5 days. This year, Nelson County is camping June 22nd to the 26th. Campers are 9 to 14 years old. Teen leaders are 14 to 17, and then 18 and up go as
Can they
adult
still
volunteers.
sign up? Is there still room to sign up?
There is still room to sign up, and a lot of parents may have gotten these at home. These are our pre-registration forms, and if you haven't, we can send you one in the mail. The deadline on here says May 15th. We have an initial deadline to make sure we have enough volunteers, but typically we'll continue to take people until space is full. Right now, we're about 2/3 full. So I encourage people, if they're interested in coming, still get your paperwork in soon, but we are extending that May 15th deadline. So the initial thing they'll do is fill out this pre-registration form, and then we send them the big packet. And about 2 weeks before camp, we send them a confirmation packet that gives them the packing list, everything they need to know, what to bring, what not to bring. And camp is a wonderful experience. We
Yeah.
provide transportation down there. They have lodging while they're down there, healthy meals, they have great snacks. Any of the safety equipment is supplied for them. And then they have the opportunity if they want to buy souvenirs or eat extra snacks as well. Every night they have an evening activity, and you may remember Sally Down the Alley. They still do Sally Down the Alley where they kind of skip around in the circle.
I remember a lot of that. It has an impact on you, because I do say going to camp at an early age, it has an impact on you the rest of your life. I mean, you'll never forget. I remember what bunk I slept in. But I mean, it's just little things like that. I remember how much trouble we got in the first night throwing sweet tarts. But that's another thing. That's another story that we won't get into tonight.
We do have behavior guidelines for the kids,
I know.
so we usually will
I
give
found
them
those
some
out.
reminders. Yeah, but camp is a wonderful experience.
Yeah.
I think one of the best things about camp is it gives kids a sense of independence.
Mm-hmm.
I always laugh because we do want the kids to be a part of the community that they're in. So when they're in the cabins, they do have to clean up.
Well, it's one of the first times they're away from mom and dad. Sometimes for some kids, it's the first time
some
they've
have
ever been
never
away from
mopped a
home.
floor. They've never swept, and we just have them clean up their personal space. One, so that all their belongings can go back home with them. And if you're sending your kid to camp, I highly recommend writing their name on everything they own, because you'll hold it up at the end of the week and that's not mine. But we do a first year orientation for all of our first year campers, and we give parents some tips and tricks to help their kids have a
I
successful
think
week.
parents maybe have a hard time than the kids do, the separation factor, because kids get homesick, obviously, for the first few days, but they get over it, and they learn, and they adapt, and they grow, and then when they come back, you might not be the same kid you sat down there 5 days earlier.
Yeah, I always make sure, we do a lot of training with our teens and adults. We require them to go through quite a bit of training, and I always want to remind them that the parents, grandparents, guardians, they're sending their most precious possession to camp with you. So you want to make sure that that child comes back having gained skills and confidence. They might come back with a bug bite or a little bit of a sunburn or something like that, but you want them to come back with positive memories.
Exactly.
And a lot of our teens, they will come back a year later and say, I saw this kid at Walmart and they gave me the biggest hug because they remembered I was their team leader. So it makes a difference on the volunteers as well. It really can be a transformational experience for kids.
All right, well, we got a video coming up. We're going to show you a little bit about it, so just to give you a little experience. And I know that everybody has different experiences when they go to camp, but most people come away with an education and just plainly a good time and hopefully a great memory.
Yep.
All right, well, Danielle, we do appreciate you being here today. And again, we hope you have a great day. And that's going to be June, 22nd to 26th?
Yes, sir. And again, they can call the office 348-9204 for more information in Nelson County. And I know Washington and Marion County are going to camp as well. They would need to call their extension office for information about their dates.
Well, do your kids a favor and give them a call. And again, if you can't afford it, they find ways to help you out there a little bit, because every kid, we don't want to, I guess no kid left behind is the saying anymore, and that is true.
Dear Mom and Dad, it's me. You know what? You were right. Every day is, fun. Something new to discover and always an adventure. Today, we went for a long walk, then a swim. And last night, I looked up into the sky and the stars were so bright. It's like seeing them for the very first time. Oh, and I met some really cool new friends.
Hey kids, I'm Josh, a 4-H summer camp team leader. I know, dudes, it's tough to admit when your parents are right. But hey, this time, trust me. What is it? It's 4-H summer camp.
Today we went swimming and fishing. I finally learned how to get the worm on the hook, and I caught a humongous fish. My instructor says it was a bluegill, and she showed me how to hold it so that it won't get hurt when we let it go back into the water. It felt slippery, but it didn't smell. I want to do that again. In the afternoon, we went off to arts and crafts. You know what? I just might want to be an artist one day. My counselor said I have style.
4-H is a University of Kentucky cooperative extension service. What that means is 4-H camp programs provided a unique, safe, and secure environment. It's a special place where kids like you can learn new skills and meet new friends. It's just fun, okay?
I can't believe the week is almost over. The friends I've made are the best, and I'm really going to miss them. We've already traded emails so we can keep in touch.
We got to go canoeing this morning. It took a while before me and my buddy could make it to go straight. We zigzagged all over the lake. We got pretty wet. Then we accidentally got the kids in the canoe next to us, wet, and then real splashing began.
Every camper will learn to better appreciate how important it is to keep the air clean and the trails free from trash. You might see birds and wildlife and insects that you have never seen before.
Canoeing, rifle, and archery. And man, I really love the ropes course. Oh, and I really like all the things we study about nature and the environment.
I hear you. It's a little scary. Sure, we've heard that one before, mostly from your parents. But not to worry, my friend. Once they hear how much fun you're having, next year will be a breeze. We'll call it food, fun, and friendship.
There's plenty to eat. They got lots of stuff like pizza and burgers, and some green stuff for the kids who like it. We get snacks and drinks to keep us going too. And Mom, don't worry, I'm in good hands. The staff here is great. They are so much fun and really seem to care about me. My team leader, Katie, knows so much about everything. She is so cool. Maybe one day I can be a leader too.
If you like to make things, chances are you'll find something fun to try during your week at camp. And every camp offers something a little different. One day you'll make a bird feeder, or maybe a tie-dye t-shirt. How about a necklace made out of beads? If you like to make things, then 4-H camp is for you.
And the best time is nighttime. It's awesome. The campfire programs are so much fun. Promise not to laugh. I actually danced and sang last night for hours. Really, everyone did. They had some cool music, and there was a really cute girl that asked me to dance with her. Girls aren't as bad as I thought they were.
And kids at our West Kentucky 4-H camp in Dawson Springs, campers can choose our basic horsemanship program, designed to teach general horse knowledge including grooming, tacking, and basic riding.
Mom, can I have a horse now? I learned how to wash and brush a horse this week. We also learned how to feed it and walk it. Then I learned how to ride without falling off, and I can make the horse go in the right direction by using my legs and the reins. My horse's name was Maggie, and I am really going to miss her.
4-H camp is all about meeting lots of new people, having fun with buddies and girlfriends that came to camp. And don't forget all the camp staff that will be there to help you have fun, and they will teach you some neat things during the week. And you aren't even in school.
Thanks, guys. I'll never forget this summer.
A Kentucky 4-H camp is the perfect way to challenge your head, hands, heart, and health. Sound like fun? If you're interested, have your mom or dad contact your county 4-H agent or the person showing this program to get you more information or to sign you up.